Welcome back to Phase 3 Gaming
Podcast.
Episode 9.
9 is not really a good letter to like shout out like 9. It doesn't really have that. It
Nine?
Episode 9?
Okay, Hitler. Hey, Frank.
Hey.
You were 33 minutes late to the podcast.
All right. I thought I was 3 minutes late, but I could have sworn it was 5:30. But yeah, man, I had to fix my car. You know, I had to go all the way, drop my car off, and then I had no ride back. So I had to Uber. I was talking to this guy from Abu Dhabi on the way back, and he was telling me that I needed to learn how to fix my own car. And I was like, okay. But then I realized I have no idea how much it's going to be to fix my car. So my car is there. And I'm just like, man, I hope I have the money to pay this guy when he's done fixing it.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I don't even know how. I have no idea how much money it is.
God,
So like,
fix it.
This is gonna be interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things, you know. Gonna be like, hey,
I guess you'll cross that bridge when you come to it.
Yeah, I'm like about that payment, you know.
I've never had that specific circumstance, like bartering and not having the money at the end.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm thinking about just maybe grabbing the keys and just VR, get in the car, you know, just run. So
yeah, I have a similar story. One time I was at the exotic vet for my ferrets.
Okay.
And the card that I was planning on paying with, I didn't realize they don't accept that card. And at the time I had no other money. So I'm thinking like, you guys already kind of serviced my ferret. You're not going to keep my ferret, are you? Like, I didn't know how that was all going to shake out. I ended up finding another way to pay, but really a weird situation to be in, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty awkward. So, I mean, hopefully like I don't know, take out some money, but if he's like, hey, it's going to be $1,000. I'm going to be like, hey,
Like, do they just lock the door and then call the police?
Like I don't know. I don't know what happens, but it should be an interesting set of circumstances, you know. But aside from that, how are you guys doing? Life is good. Life is great, fantastic. No exotic vet visits. No sick children. No diarrhea this time.
This time, was there diarrhea last time? I don't remember.
That was like 3 episodes ago.
Yeah, Jules is doing pretty well. Not much new here. Pumping out the TikToks every day. I'm having fun with that little venture. So guys, go check out our TikTok at Phase 3 Gaming. What else? That's about it. Just playing some Elden Ring and raising my family.
Okay. Mr. Ruckus, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, just got out of work. Ready to talk to you guys about some video games. There's a game that everybody's playing right now, an indie type game. It's called Tunic. It follows a fox, and this fox wears a green tunic. Can you guys tell me what other video game character wears a green tunic that this might be in reference to?
Link.
Thank you, Frank. I thought Jules was going to jump in and say Zelda, and I was going to correct him that his name is Link, because me and Jules had a conversation about this previously. So yeah, so the game is very similar to like Link to the Past, the old Zelda game. It's a really cute little game. It has exceptional art, has like really cool puzzles and combat. I think it's really influenced by a Soul series because there's a corpse run if you die, you heal from a flask, and you collect little bits of lore as you go. And yeah, it seems like a really cool little game that everybody's into right now.
I'm seeing Souls-like Metroidvania, and it looks very colorful, very, very interesting. Actually, kind of, not exactly. I was going to say, do you think it compares a little bit to, the hell's the name of those games? Yeah.
In other news.
Yeah,
in other news.
Okay. I'll find it.
Well, Jules, did you look up anything about Tunic? Did you have any thoughts about it or no?
Yeah. No, I didn't look a single thing about Tunic. No, I'm excited.
Have you ever played any Zelda games?
I'm afraid to answer that because the answer is no.
That's a no. Okay, that's fine.
That's no.
I was just curious.
I feel like me and Jules are missing out majorly when it comes to that. Zelda's been, you know, a huge just like one of those Mario games, you know? Yeah, it's like a staple. Game I was thinking about, by the way, Transistor, and I forget the prequel to it, but it kind of looks a little bit
Bastion?
like that in a way. Bastion, yeah. Does that give it similar feels at all or no?
I wouldn't say so.
Like
I would think, I would say the look of it seems to be kind of like, what is the word for like a dia? What is the word for like something that looks like a dollhouse, but it's a dia word? It starts with dia.
Diastasis, recti?
You guys don't have a good vocabulary either. All right, we're going to move on.
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't say so. I just think it reminds me of like the old school Zelda games. And to me, it just looks a little bit unorganic though. Like the scenery seems a bit polygonal to the point where it wouldn't have the atmosphere that I would be looking for. But everybody has really glowing thoughts about it so far. Everybody's enjoying it. So in other news, Elden Ring got some patches, or we got a patch.
Oh yeah.
Frank, you heard about that?
I heard about some patches, you know. One thing that I found very interesting. One of the things, because all I'm hearing is sorcery's OP, sorcery's broken. And then I saw like, they're like, yeah, we're going to buff sorcery. I just thought that was kind of funny. I was like, oh, they're buffing some sorceries.
Well, some sorcery spells.
I just thought that was funny because I'm like, people are crying about sorcery and then they buffed it. But but aside from that, I heard that they actually they fixed or tuned some things down with the guy we were talking about, Radon. I heard that They've increased the drop rate, I think, or the and perchance the cost, or decreased the cost of smithing stones as well. I don't know if there was any quality of life. I think frame rate stuff was fixed maybe a little bit. I heard some people reporting that their frame rates were a little bit higher, but I don't know.
I could go through the
true that
changes
is.
really quick.
Yeah,
So
go
they
ahead.
have NPC map tracking. So you can find NPCs, new NPCs, new NPC quest phases, new background music, arcane scaling fixes. I don't know if you guys know, but some arcane weapons were just totally not scaling with arcane. Increased smithing stone drop rates and availability. Shields are more effective. Nerf Hoarfrost, Stomp,
Yeah, the
and
horror stomp. Yeah,
Mimic Tear, whatever it is, has been like
good.
really a big thing for a lot of people trying to get extra help, and a bunch of other balancing and bug fixes, and some of the spells that were like really overpowered. Specifically, what is it called? There's this katana magic spell. I forget the name. It's just everyone is using it, but that got
That's
The
slightly
slice in the
yeah.
middle,
reduced.
yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of other things got adjusted, but as far as I know, Magic is not the most OP right now. The most OP like PvP meta is
Arcane.
Arcane and Bleed, which is kind of like what I've been going with from the beginning. So I hope nobody's looking at me like, oh, look at this guy, because that was
Yeah,
my
no,
plan
it's
from
got
the
you.
get
You
go.
know, you want to be one of those meta guys. I get it.
Whatever.
Yo, honestly, I will say, like, I played a fair amount of PvP last night, and the one thing that I really lose to is the bleed builds. I feel like bleed is just pretty. I mean, depending on the weapon, Jesus, some of those things just destroy you. Like, it's unbelievable.
Did
How
you
much
see my
damage the bleed
PvP
does.
video?
No, I still have to watch it. Honestly, I haven't had time for anything. That's
Yeah.
on the list. But like, but yeah, man, like it's pretty insane. It's pretty insane, honestly. As far as that, I don't know what the move is called, but that katana slice thing, dealt with that a few
Mhm.
times. It's pretty annoying.
They
But
nerfed that.
yeah, it's not the worst anymore. I'll say that. It's like it's deal withable.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have vigor, and a lot of people don't. That's the thing. People just like they'll put a little bit and they think that's
Yeah,
enough. But if you're gonna be PvPing, you need a
you gotta
good
have
amount of vigor
yeah.
to stay alive,
Mhm.
because that's the most important thing. Even in the PvE, you have to be able to stay alive and survive a couple of hits. Otherwise, you don't stand a chance. You know.
Yeah, I mean, for the PvE aspect, I don't really care so much. But like for the PvP, definitely, yeah. So like I've been trying to increase of my vigor a little bit. I think I'm like 52 or something, or
Ooh,
50
that's more
around
than
that
me, I
now.
think.
No, I'm talking about my level.
Oh, awkward.
Not not bigger. No, I'm nowhere near that. My vigor. I'm almost one of those guys they talk about, but definitely in the PvP scene, I've noticed, man, some people will hit me and they do a ton of damage, and then like I buff my weapon to hit them once and they just die, and I'm like, oh,
Nobody has
Where's
vigor.
your vigor
yeah. I
at?
was like,
Make
where's
a
your
build.
vigor? Like,
I ain't got no vigor.
yeah, it's pretty bad, especially those mages, man. But they deserve it, you know. You're casting all that nonsense, and then you get your whole face
Yeah.
knocked out. You know, it's kind of great.
Don't.
Just so you guys
No.
know, the soft caps for all the stats, maybe all the offensive stats, but I think all the stats
80,
is
right?
80 exactly.
Yeah.
Frank, you're really keeping up with this stuff. All right, cool. So Jules basically at 80 on any stat. You basically
your-
get like, go ahead, Frank.
I was gonna say that's your soft cap or your hard cap. It's the soft cap, right?
Soft cap. Yeah, you're still gonna get stats, but it's just gonna be
Diminishing returns.
there. You go. Thank you. So
Hard cap is
wouldn't
60,
level.
right?
Well, no, the hard cap wouldn't be lower than the soft cap.
Oh yeah, that doesn't make sense.
The thing
I-
is,
I
the
remember
PvP
seeing
meta
something
is gonna be generally at 125 this go around, just the same as before. So the reason for that is you can go up to like 150 and do a lot of like max out your soft caps and everything, but at higher levels like 150, what they're saying is that everyone can do damn near everything. So they want to keep it at 125 to make sure that builds actually have personality still. And,
Right,
That's what
okay,
people are gonna
okay.
be for dueling only. Like for invasions, do what you want, whatever. But for dueling,
Right.
you want to stay at 125 if you want to be in the dueling. If you want to
Okay.
mix it up.
I'm actually kind of surprised by that because everything that I've heard is again just with the higher caps and stuff like that. Like that I thought that the dueling was going to be around 150. So I'm kind of surprised by that. But that's I mean again I don't. I mean do we know? I don't think we know definitively yet, right? It's still kind of figuring itself
all of
out.
the main PvPers are kind of agreeing with 125, but of course there are going to be people who are at 150 because they want those extra stats. They want to hit like
Right.
I want to max out my damage, but the thing is at that level,
Yeah.
damage gets so high that no one can survive anything. So it's kind of like there's no point at 125. You kind of like
Okay.
you can't one shot everybody. So it's just
Right.
makes more sense and it feels best as far as the PvPers have said.
I do
main
like
guys.
keeping the kind of identity of your build, you know, without
Yeah.
like,
That's
you know,
beautiful.
you go level 999, you're a master of everything. It's a little bit much.
Yeah, make some sacrifices.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to ask you guys a question, Jules specifically. So,
Mhm.
how do you feel about the pacing of Elden Ring? Because being that there's like no clear structure and you don't really get necessarily a sense of completion all the time because you're kind of exploring all the time. Do you feel an emptiness as far as like the pacing? Like you're a little bit left wondering, like, man, I don't really get the satisfaction.
No, maybe I had a spell of that, I guess, at one point.
Mhm.
but not really. There's just so many little tasks that I create for myself if the game doesn't even direct me. So like,
Right.
I find ways to just, even if I do get stuck for a second, I'm just like, oh, I want to use this new item. I gotta like level up my int now. Like I don't know, I figure out something to do regardless.
It makes me
Yeah,
really
yeah.
happy to know that you're enjoying the game.
I am, yeah, which is we
Pretty
didn't-
surprising.
we didn't expect that, did we?
No,
At
no,
all.
told you, man.
You
Like
really
the
bounce.
underdog Elden Lord here. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You bounced off of Dark Souls 1. I don't know if you really like Demon Souls. I know you play both of those, but what was your experience with like Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls? I know this is not
Demon
really
Souls
planned,
was the first
but
thing. Yeah, Demon Souls was the first game I came to, right? I haven't even brought maybe Frank
Oh, yeah.
to it, maybe. But
well,
I
I've told both of you guys
oh,
about it,
you
but go
did?
ahead, continue. Well, I told Frank about it, and then he was like, yeah, I don't know about that. And then he's like, so you're playing with Jules. And I'm like, yo, fuck you guys. Anyway.
But yeah, Demon Souls was lit. But again, I'm like reliant on people sometimes, right? So I'm just like, oh, I have fun playing this game with Frank. And that game, I think it kind of allowed you to play with people more. I don't remember why.
Yeah.
It felt more
I think
like
it was the same
co-joint.
thing,
It might have been, but it felt different. I don't know why. I guess it's his first experience or something. And then I just kind of like lost interest in the darkness that is Dark Souls. It's just I feel like a freaking horror game, and like I don't know, I wasn't having fun. I keep telling Caitlin when she's watching me play the game that for some reason I don't understand why this game Elden Ring doesn't feel as like dark and doom creating as.
Well, I think the world is much prettier.
Yeah,
you know?
and even like the scarier circumstance, it's still jump scary as shit all the time. But like I don't know, I'm like, oh, this is just beautiful art. This grotesque person with 12 heads. This is just art. Like, versus Dark Souls, this shit felt like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. Like I don't know, something.
Maybe because it's open and you have the option to be like, you know what, I've had enough of this darkness. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Like,
that's
yo,
what it is.
nah.
That's what it is. I'm just like, nah, fuck that. I'm going somewhere else. I'm not dealing with this.
I'm kind
And
of done with Caitlin.
having
I'm
the
going back
option,
to the
yeah.
rolling hills. You
I think
know.
And
exactly.
always
Yeah.
go back to Lemongrave.
I'm just saying there the whole game.
Yo, the
Frank,
area of
how
the
do you
lakes
feel
is
about the
very pretty.
pacing?
Honestly, I would kind of have the same opinion as Jules. Like there's certain spots maybe either I don't want to go to or I can't get to yet, and I kind of same thing. I find my own little like I was just exploring some random dungeon, like I just happened upon it, like going in a niche into another niche, and all of a sudden there's like a dungeon there, and I was like really excited to go just check it out. You know what I mean? Because you never know what you're gonna get in there, and like it's just I just have like fun with that. You know, I haven't had too much time to play the game, so like when I hop on, it's just it to me it's always like a fresh adventure. I'm just I'm on my horse, I'm looking around, I'm checking things, I'm trying to find these NPC quests, and I'm generally just having a really good time. There was one thing I'm kind of forgetting that was a complaint of mine, but I
I'll
don't
jump
even
in really
remember
quick
it.
while you
Yeah, go ahead.
remember that.
Mhm.
Something that I hate. I won't say hate. Something that I definitively dislike about this game as opposed to every other Souls game. You guys ready?
Okay.
Jules, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So they lost their balls a little bit because in every other Souls game, you can attack anybody at any time. In this game, they have areas where you cannot attack anybody. And that is such, I don't want to curse too much, but that is a wimp move right there.
It's a BS.
Like,
Yeah,
how-
it's a BS
How could
thing,
they
yeah.
do that? How could, like, this is something that's been like in every Souls game where you could just, you could ruin your entire game by just killing the wrong person.
I kind
And
of
in this
agree
game,
with
they're
that.
like, nah, you know what? We're just going to keep these people safe in this area. And there's nothing you can do about
I
it.
didn't
And
know that.
I don't
What are
like
you
that.
talking about? Like
I
you mean
kind of
like
Yes, you
agree.
do.
you mean like the hold and stuff? I mean the round
Exactly.
table?
The whole,
Ah.
I
Not
think
just
that might be the
though.
only area.
There's been other NPCs I've found throughout the world. What's her name? Roderica, the girl who does the spirit tuning. Like when you first found her, and she's like, "Oh, my friends got grafted," and I was just like, "Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna kill you." And I went to kill her, and she's just like, "Yeah, you can't even kill me." And she had like this invincible shield around her. And I noticed
my
when I've
God.
accidentally hit a few NPCs that they had the same thing. And I was like, "Yeah, I don't really approve of this like too much."
I never saw
Not
that yet.
that big
I
of a
guess.
fan of not that big of a fan of that. I'll definitely say. But
They've kind of dabbled in this in the past where it's like you'll kill somebody and they're like immortal, so they just come back the next time you load in or
Yeah, that's better.
things like that. Where
I don't know if that's been well, except for the Firekeeper. She's the only one.
Yeah, the Firekeeper, also like the doll, and oh, you haven't played Bloodborne. Anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, just they've had people like that before where you try to kill them and they can't be killed, which is like kind of a cop out also. But for the most part, if you just feel like killing an NPC, you could always do that. So I'm kind of just not cool with that. Or like
Yeah.
the blacksmith in Dark Souls where he would just beat your ass, but you could fight him if you wanted to, but you don't want to.
But he'd wreck your whole life. But yeah.
Can I ask you a
agree.
question? Can I ask a question? The Ruckus, have you met the bell bearing hunter?
I don't think so.
He's the realest dude there ever was.
Yeah, I met him for a second time yesterday.
Can you tell me anything else about him? What does he look like?
So he hunts you if you have a
Oh.
bell bearing, bro. So you don't need to go looking for him. He will find
Okay.
you. So why don't you just hold
Take
on to a
many-
bell bearing for a while so you can meet him because he's a nice guy.
He's like a big dude clad in like some like the most serious looking armor, and he's got like the most serious look. He looks like basically if you wanted to go with like a melee build, but you're just like fully decked out in game. That's what he looks like. And yeah, I mean, I was fighting him before, and I was telling Jules like he has, you know, he's got like a great sword that he's swinging around. He's messing you up. And then he throws his sword, and all of a sudden he's like telekinetically wielding it. So he's just moving his hands, and his sword's like in
These
your
are
face, just slicing
all
you up.
spoilers, but this is awesome content for people who care about this stuff. But thank you guys.
It's
for
not a major
totally
spoiler. I
ruining
mean, a
this for
little
me.
bit.
Yeah, no, it's
I
all
guess
good.
a
Don't
little
worry
bit.
about it.
He's really tough, and he's killed me every time. And I think Jules, you got
So
away
good luck
from
with
him,
that.
right? You ran away.
The first time I ran, this time he took my life. I tried to take his.
Oh, okay. Does he steal your bell bearing?
Yeah, I'm not gonna answer that because Ruckus is scared.
Okay.
Thank you, Jules.
You're welcome.
Frank, have you heard about super illusory walls?
No, I've been hitting every wall. Haven't found one, and I'm very, very upset.
All right, so I'm gonna let Jules tell you, but I'm gonna sneak really quick in that there are illusory walls because I found one. Jules, tell them about super illusory walls.
Super.
Before I get into the real meat of this topic, I found a bunch of illusionary walls now, like bookcases and stuff. But anyways, so there are some illusionary walls that you might have to hit 50 times and before they open.
What?
So it's actually not necessarily a magic number 50, but the walls have 99999 health. And I think the reason for this is because it's a bug where the walls were not supposed to, like, they changed their mind, I think, on whether it was going to be an illusory wall or not. And they just didn't take it out and replace it with an actual wall. They just ranked up the health. So they thought nobody would get into it. But people have found at least one illusory wall that you hit 50 times and then it goes away.
So, I mean, is there anything behind it, or is it just like
It's a useless shortcut as far as they can tell.
Okay, I mean that's pretty it's pretty interesting. What the hell? Yeah, because I was like, man, like how would anyone naturally discover? Like, you know what? Let me just keep like now. Do I have to hit every panel of a wall
think
like
you do,
50 times just to check?
That's the funny thing is everybody's like, "Are you kidding me? Now I got to go to every wall again." But here's the thing about how I think that person found that one, which is kind of like an old trick. It just takes a little bit of resources. If you have like the rainbow stones or whatever they are, if you drop one in front of an illusory wall, it'll go through it. And if you drop one in front of a real wall, it won't go through it. So that's how you can always know if a wall is illusory or not. But I don't know if they did that there and then they were like, oh, okay, so this really isn't a real wall, but why can't I hit it? And they just kept banging it. Yeah, that's one way to tell if anybody's
That's
not
really
aware.
interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, I only use illusory walls to like after
illusory walls.
illusory walls to drop after I kill someone in PvP and to test if I'm gonna fall to my death or not. That's pretty much it. So that's pretty cool. New uses. Have any of you guys gotten a buckler shield yet?
Well, I kind of started one out because I was a bandit.
Okay.
Yeah, I had one from the start.
Do you parry at all?
I parry sometimes. I feel like it gets me fucked up. I generally parry against the guys on the horse because they're really easy to get off their horse by just parrying them once and then you just critical.
Okay.
Why? What do you ask? Why do you bring this up?
I was just curious about like because I've heard that the buckler parries are superior, but I do like my dagger parrying, and I was just kind of curious about
superior as in longer windows, or
I think that it has like or rather that I think it's a quicker startup frame basically. But I'm not 100%. I don't know if anyone's 100%. I haven't like deep dived on it to see if it was true or not, but it was something that I came across.
I do feel like with the buckler, I had a ton of an easier time parrying because I changed the parrying dagger because I'm dagger guy, man. I got a dagger, everything. So I wanted to go with the parrying dagger. But ever since I changed the dagger, I haven't parried like a single person. I just been getting my ass smashed. So
yeah, I honestly I gotta get a freaking direct Ethernet connection because I think a lot of times when it comes to like reaction parries and PvP, like I have to be predictive. Like react unless they're using a really slow weapon or something. It's pretty hard sometimes to get the parries off for sure.
Have you guys dabbled in any quests that may make you choose one side over the other in any way?
Kind of. I mean, I had to choose some lady. She wanted me to follow her. I don't know if that counts. I feel like it did.
Like anything that you feel may affect the end story of the game, because there's always multiple story endings.
I'm not really certain. I know last I think episode we had talked about that one guy who was that haughty noble dude. He was Kenneth like, "Do you want to follow me?" Yeah, Kenneth Height. And I was like, "Yeah, bro." I was like, "I'll follow you," but that was about it. But I was like, maybe I'm making a choice here where I'm not gonna follow someone else. but I wasn't really sure. But that was pretty much it. Haven't
No
really
hard
dealt with
choices,
that.
though.
Nah, that was about it.
Jules?
No hard choices. What? I guess you've had some, huh? Or one?
Yeah, at least one where someone is asking me to do something that's going to definitely affect, I think, my path in the game. But since you guys haven't experienced it, I'll keep shut on that one.
Okay. Ruckus, go fight General Radon, please.
I don't even know where he is.
I'm not gonna tell you
gotten
that.
your golden needle? I'm not expecting you to, buddy.
Yo, I've been looking for this golden needle forever. But there's one thing that I think, okay, I've scoured the swamp of Caelid's forever. I haven't found it. But there's one guy there who is a world mini boss, and I was thinking maybe he has it because I've looked under poison flowers. You know, I've killed NPCs. Like, where's the needle? No one's got it. But I'm thinking maybe he has it.
Why haven't you fought him
Jules,
yet? Are you scared of him or something?
I've literally tried to fight him like twice, and yeah, I'm not scared of any NPC, but that guy kind of scares me a little bit. He kind of scares me a little bit. Did you fight him?
Bad. Yeah, he's not so bad.
Talking about that dude in the swamp of rot.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's the archers, and like I don't want to deal with it. But Jules had said, and I haven't summoned any help for anything. But Jules wants to help me fight him.
I do.
I'm thinking about maybe letting him. I was like, you know what? Maybe
need to. Man. I killed him like in a handful of tries, and it's just simple. Like it's one of those things where you learn, oh, he can't do this, and then you just kill him. But anyway,
I think probably because you have like a OP meta build, it's probably pretty easy for you. But like for us basic players, you know what I mean? We don't have bleeds every 2 seconds. So it's like, I might need Jules' help on this one. I'm like, you know what? I think I am gonna bring Jules in. But
so we're gonna jump into the next topic.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you guys, what have you been watching? You guys been watching anything lately? What you been up to?
I've been watching, and I think I mentioned this, well, maybe not on podcast. Yu Yu Hakusho again with Fiora. And we're into just beginning season 1, but we're getting to where he's like becoming a spirit detective and stuff, and she's really into it, which I'm happy about. So it's pretty cool. I feel like I can watch that series just over and over again. I'm like, this is definitely one of my favorite animes, man. I love Yu Yu Hakusho.
It's crazy how I can hate you so much, Frank, and then you say something and I'm like, that's my dude right there. I love that.
It's so good, man. It's like every episode is just gold. I'm like, oh, it's gold, bro. So but the fact that she loves it is like, it's great. So we're gonna play some chess after this and watch some Yu Yu.
You're raising her right, man. You're raising her right.
That's the plan. What about you guys?
Jules?
I really haven't had much time for
Come
shows.
on, Jules.
Oh my God, chill. I'm not Jules. I'm not that guy. Grape jelly eating motherfucker. Not really, not much. I've been trying to watch the first episode of Jujutsu Kaisen because
I've heard so many good things.
Because it's out, the movie's out, and Nick wants to see it, and he's like, "Bro, you need to like gorge this entire series." And I'm like, so I'm trying to do that.
I was gonna watch that movie today, man, but I had to be here for you guys.
Son of a gun.
I've heard the characters of Jujutsu Kaisen are very colorful and interesting. I haven't watched it at all, but that's what I've heard. I don't know if that was from you, Ruckus, or
think of it like the next level or the new version of Bleach, basically.
That's exactly my first impression when I watched the first episode. I was like, this is just Bleach.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Okay. I mean, I was a fan of Bleach, so where's the Aizen-sama? You know what I mean? That's all I want to know.
She's there.
So that's it for you, Jules. That's all you've been watching.
And a lot of Encanto. We don't talk about Bruno.
Oh my! No. Yeah, that pops. I thought it was a movie randomly sometimes now.
Isn't that a movie?
And I've never even seen that.
Encanto's a movie, yeah, but we have it in our house 24/7.
Oh, so you've been watching it a lot? Okay.
Yeah.
How do I get my daughter to like Disney movies, or is this a thing that I should encourage? I mean, not to like them.
You're not like a Disney man. I'm not sure if she can be a Disney woman.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this last podcast, but like again, people make fun of me because I always play female characters in games, So, but I noticed like I bought Fiora this game Grow, and it's you're making your own little world and stuff like that, and like you create your character, and she's like making a boy, and I was like, oh no, let me switch that for you, and she's like, no, like I want to make a boy. I'm like, why do you want to make a boy? And she wants to play boy character, and I find it kind of funny because I play girl characters.
There you go.
I was like, I guess I can't talk shit because I was like, I do the same thing. I was like, all right, have fun. Do you think?
Sounds like you're not trying to fit in any boxes. You know what I mean? Like,
man,
like Jessica's and whatnot. Thing. But anyway, Jules. So
okay,
that's all you've been watching is Encanto and
Jujutsu
Kaisen a little bit.
Correct. Yep. What about you, Rock?
All right, so I've been checking out Cells at Work. I watched it a little while ago. Now it wasn't because of Frank's suggestion. I actually watched it a little bit before Frank said that. Okay. So it's kind of like the opposite of the other thing I've been watching. So it's basically like a really good sense of humor. It's very lighthearted. It's informative a little bit sometimes. and it's just a fun little anime that I've been catching up on.
Nothing too heavy. Yeah. It's
yeah,
nice
Demon
though,
Slayer
fun.
is over. This season is over, so God knows when the next time I'll be able to watch Demon
Woo!
Slayer.
Yeah.
Hey.
Shut up,
Oh, no,
Frank.
go ahead.
So yeah, also another one that I mentioned before is We Are All Dead. So we've been watching a bunch of that, and it's like really, really good. I found out that the last time I was watching it, we accidentally started in like the middle of like season 3 without knowing, or season 2.
Oh,
and
damn.
we didn't realize. We just thought like it was one of those shows where they tell you what happened
backwards,
in the beginning later on, and I was just like, man, this is really good. And then we went to like start watching it again, and it was like, yo, what is all of this? Yeah, it's a really good show, but it's really dark, a little depressing, but it's a really cool show.
I wish I had more time to watch like things because there's so many things I want to get into, honestly. Even like when it comes to Elden Ring, I just wish I had more time. I've been working insane hours, but trying to make this monies, for
That's
life.
right.
Yeah, man.
I want to go
that's
see
pretty
the
much plan.
Batman, man. You guys
Yo,
haven't
I've
seen the
heard so
Batman
many
either,
people
right?
talk
Oh, I
about
wanna
it.
see
Like
it too.
everyone at work has been talking about it, and like everyone's like, you know what? I think I am Team Edward, and I'm just like, okay, maybe I got to check this out. Maybe it's worth it. Maybe
So-
Kirsten Dunst said something. Maybe she was right.
Little stuff for you guys. You guys know about the Resident Evil Netflix series coming out on July 14th?
No.
I'm excited.
Leon?
I'm predicting it's gonna be trash, but we'll see what
It
happens.
usually is. Resident Evil
Resident
media
Evil
is
is never
usually
handled
trash.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's good for the people that just like to look at mindless like action and
man,
like
got
killing, and they're
action
like,
lore,
"Oh, this
yeah.
is great," and they're stupid. They're stupid people. If you're a listener and you like those shows, I love you, but you're stupid.
I will say though, honestly, when it comes to what is the Mia Jojovic Resident Evil movies, like
Mhm.
they've all been like, except for the first one, which I thought was a genuinely good movie, they've all been kind of like that. But there is something
Exactly.
about just watching that like nonsense. Like I thoroughly enjoyed every movie.
All
I
right.
go, I'm
Oh
not gonna
my
lie.
god!
I've
Frank,
thoroughly
man,
enjoyed
interrupt.
every movie.
All right,
Why?
so I don't know. Another bit of information. Daredevil, either the next season or a reboot was greenlit, but moved to Disney Plus, but it won't be censored. I know that's very like
Hey.
close to all of our hearts. So just to let you
They're
guys
probably
know,
gonna move it,
Daredevil will
right?
continue.
Nice though. I'm excited. I was a big fan of Daredevil, honestly.
And we're gonna wrap this podcast up with, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jules, can I get a drum roll? I don't know what that was, but I guess
I
it's a
think
drum
he
roll.
just broke something.
Just threw something off his desk.
Oh damn.
Fireface Super Fast Red Hot Edition. You guys ready?
Oh yeah.
So this time we're gonna have a winner crowned. So the person with the most coherent and fastest answers will win. So
Ren.
shut up. Our first fire phase, Jules is technically the winner because one of Frank's answers was just an agonized scream. So Jules is just by way of that the champion of our first fire phase. So the winner of this will be crowned Fire Lord. Is everyone ready?
I'm ready. 40 seconds left.
I was born ready.
All right. Frank, Aerith or Tifa?
Aerith all day.
Jules, Logan Paul or John Cena?
John Cena.
Frank, Bloodborne PC port or Dragon's Dogma 2?
Bloodborne PC port.
Jules, Bandito Fiddlesticks or Headless Hecarim?
Bandito Fiddlesticks.
Yeah,
Frank.
Bandito.
I actually didn't write this one down. I'm sorry. Jules, California Love or Will Smith, Miami?
Welcome to Miami.
Yeah.
They got that.
Miami. Hey. All right. So based on those answers, we're gonna have to crown a Fire Lord here. No one's a loser. You know what I mean? Everyone kind of put in their all with those answers.
Be my best.
And your champion of the
Come
Phase
on,
3
baby.
Fire Phase.
Come on. Yeah.
And still champion.
Yeah!
Jules
Yeah!
Day Dragon.
Yeah!
Jordan.
You ain't got shit on me, Frank.
He cheated. He cheated. He got 2 questions.
Congratulations, Jules.
How you gonna get two
You got
extra
you got
questions?
another week on the throne. Next
God
week,
damn
who
it.
knows? Who knows?
You're
what'll
going
happen next
down,
week.
Jules. You will rue the day. Okay.
All
God
right.
damn
So, in closing, can you guys tell them where to reach us?
Jules.
You're gonna reach us on TikTok at Phase 3 Gaming. Only on TikTok. That's it.
You're gonna reach
just
us-
forget about the YouTube Phase 3
Okay.
Gaming on YouTube with all that the 80 videos of content that we have there. Don't worry about that.
Right.
Frank,
Ruckus
where
is
else can we
recording
be
his
reached?
entire Elden Ring playthrough. So if you want to see brand new tactics, that's the place to go to.
That's a no
Also,
horse combat.
no horse
summoning,
combat.
no ashes. What are the ash summons called, Frank? Since
Oh shit. No.
Spirit ashes.
no spirit ashes,
No spirit
No.
ashes.
No maidens.
daggers only.
This
Well, not
guy's
daggers
like,
only, but
no
dagger
armor,
build.
no
Yeah.
weapons, all that.
Nothing.
That's how he
Nothing.
does it. Just bareback.
Bare ass.
Yep.
Bareback.
Where else can we be
True
reached,
Souls
Frank?
play. RSS. We are Phase 3 Gaming. Spotify as well. Phase 3 Gaming Podcast. Where else are we? Twitter, right? We're on Phase 3 Gaming.
Google Podcast, Apple Podcast Services, which will soon be partners. So if you guys watch us on or listen to us on Apple Podcast Services, we may get a little some income from that. So we would really appreciate it if you guys checked out the Apple Podcast Services if you haven't already.
Check out Apple.
So, Ruckus, there's some listeners all around the world. There's one you wanted to give a shout out to. I don't remember which country.
I want to give a special shout out to Brussels, because Brussels, whoever's in Brussels listening to us, you've been there from the start and you always consistently listen. So thank you out in Brussels. You guys make awesome Brussels sprouts. And I love Jean-Claude Van Damme. So I just want to give you guys a special little shout out.
Is he from Brussels?
Yeah, he is. The Muscles from Brussels, they call them.
Muscles from Brussels. Let's go, baby. Thank you, man.
And they also, I think they're like the #1 port for chocolate. So a lot of cool stuff happening in Brussels.
Maybe that's him listening.
I hope so. I hope he's doing a split, listening to the podcast, just having a blast.
Nice, bro.
So with that being said, is there anyone who could take us out?
Well, this has been episode 9, and this phase is over.